Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we are breaking down the key highlights of the India's Union Budget for the fiscal year 2025 to 26, presented by our Honorable Finance Minister Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman on February 1st, 2025. Hi everyone, welcome to Webtel Knowledge Sharing Portal. My name is Saloni Sharma from Team Webtel. Before we dive in, let me quickly set the stage for what's ahead. In this video, we will cover most significant announcement, that is the increase in the income tax exemption limit, major changes in the TDS and TCS, and many more. Let's get started with the basic introduction. Now that we have gone through the Union Budget 2020-25 to 26 introduces a number of key benefits aimed at stimulating economic growth and enhancing financial well-being. Notably, higher exemption limits and revised tax slabs have been implemented to lessen the tax burden on salaried persons and the middle class, which in turn increases disposable incomes.
Let's have a look at the budget highlights of the direct tax 2020-25. So let's begin. The government has introduced a new income tax bill that is based on direct tax code. The direct tax code is a plan to replace the Income Tax Act of the 1961. Its goal is to make the tax system simpler and easier for both individuals and businesses. And the DTC aims to reduce confusion and make paying taxes clearer and more straightforward. By doing this, it hopes to improve how people follow the tax rules, make business operations smoother, and create a fairer tax system overall. So that's why this new income tax bill has been introduced. Also, the tax slab rate for the financial year 2020-25 to 2026 has been changed. If a person is having the income up to 4 lakh, then they don't need to pay any taxes. If they are having the income from 4 to 8 lakh, then they need to pay 5% tax. If they are having the income from 8 to 12 lakh, then they need to pay 10% tax. If they are having the income from 12 to 16 lakh, then they need to pay 15% tax. If they are having the income more than 16 lakh but up to 20 lakh, then they need to pay 20% tax. And if they are having the income more than 20 lakh but up to 24 lakh, then they need to pay 25% tax. Whereas if they are having the income above 24 lakh, then they need to pay 30% tax. And this is the slab rate for the new tax regime, and that will be applicable from 1st April 2020-25 for the financial year 2025 to 26 and for the assessment year 2026 to 27. And this regime is a new default tax regime for the taxpayers. And also, no income tax will be payable if they are having the income up to 12 lakh in the new tax regime. So let's have a look how no income tax will be payable if the person is having the income up to 12 lakh. Now let's have a look at the benefit in the new tax slab rate. If a person is having the income of rupees 12,75,000, then a standard deduction of 75,000 will be provided, so the net taxable income of the person will be 12 lakh. And as per the existing tax slab rate, they are eligible to pay 83,200 rupees as a tax. Whereas the tax liability as per the proposed tax slab rates will be nil. So there will be a benefit of 83,200 rupees for the taxpayers if they are having the income of rupees 12 lakh. Whereas if they are having the income of rupees 18 lakh, then they will be having a standard deduction of 75,000. So the net taxable income will be 17,25,000. And as per the existing tax slab rate, they need to pay 83,200 rupees. Whereas as per the proposed tax slab rate, they are liable to pay 1,50,800 rupees. and also they will be having a benefit of 65,000 rupees. And if a person is having the income of 25 lakh, then their net taxable income after taking the standard deduction will be 24 lakh 25,000. And as per the tax liability and as per the existing slab rate, they are eligible to pay the tax of rupees 4,34,200. But as per the proposed tax slab rate, they are eligible to pay a tax liability of 3,19,800 only. So they are eligible to claim a benefit in the tax liability of rupees 1,14,400 rupees. So like this, a salaried person will be having the benefit as per the new tax regime. Then new regime versus old tax regime. As no major changes have been announced in the old tax regime, the parents, those who are investing in the NPS Vatsalya for their children, will soon be eligible for the deduction under Section 80 CCD 1B of the Income Tax Act. And also the rebate amount of rupees 12,500 will continue to be available under the old tax regime if the taxable income does not exceed rupees 5 lakh. Then comes the section 194A. The limit of section 194A has been increased for the senior citizen. Basically, section 194A is related to TDS on interest other than interest on securities. If a person is receiving the interest other than interest on securities and they are having the income more than 50,000 rupees, then their TDS will be deducted at the rate of 10%. But the threshold limit of the interest on securities for the senior citizens has been doubled from 50,000 to 1 lakh rupees. So if a senior citizen is having the interest other than interest on securities income, then their TDS will not be deducted up to 1 lakh rupees. Also, a change has been done in the limit of the relief in TDS and TCS rules has also been provided by the government in the budget 2025 to 26. That is under the section 194A, that is related to TDS on interest other than interest on securities. If a person is having the interest income other than interest on securities, like if they are having the interest on FD, deposits or loan, etc., then their TDS will be deducted if the amount exceeds 40,000 in case of individuals, and if the person is a senior citizen, then the limit is 50,000. Whereas in the budget, the threshold limit of the interest on securities for the senior citizens has been doubled from 50,000 to 1 lakh rupees. Then is section 194 IP, that is related to TDS on rent of land and building. The threshold limit for the TDS on rent of land and building has also been increased from 2.40 lakh to 6 lakh for the financial year 2025 to 26. And also the TCS threshold limit for the foreign remittance under the liberalized remittance scheme has been increased from the 7 lakh to 10 lakh. And also the TCS will not be applicable on the education loans under the LRS from recognized financial institution. If a person is taking the education loan under the LRS from any recognized financial institution, then their TCS will not be collected. Also, to promote the voluntary compliance, the limit for filing the updated return has been extended from a year 2 years to 4 years. And also, the registration period has been increased from 5 years to 10 years for the small charitable trust and institutions to give a relief. And also, the taxpayers can now claim the annual value of the two self-occupied properties. The taxpayers are eligible to claim nil annual value for the two self-occupied properties. So these are the changes, or these are the benefits that has been provided in the union budget, empowering middle class like never before.
This budget aims to empower individuals, strengthen businesses, and propel India towards becoming a robust, developed economy. What are your thoughts? Drop a comment below and let's start a conversation. You can refer to the blog link below for more details. Also, if you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate your time and hope you found value in this. Stay tuned for more content coming soon as we will discuss the new Income Tax Bill 2020-25, which brings new dimensions to Indian taxation reforms. Until then, take care and have an amazing day.